If you need to change out a front wheel bearing on a 2004 Jeep Grand Cherokee Limited, the part I used was a Moog 513159. The main tools you'll need is a 13 millimeter 12-point socket and a 36 millimeter axle nut socket. So you basically treat it like a brake job, and then once you get to the part with the wheel bearing, what you'll need is that 13 millimeter 12-point to take off the 3 bolts back here. And then if you have a slide hammer, you get the slide hammer and pull the wheel bearing off. If you don't have a slide hammer, what you could use is a chisel and a hammer to kind of take it off. But that's basically, I guess, how to kind of get the job done. If you don't have a impact gun to take the axle nut off from here with a 36 millimeter, what you could use is a breaker bar and basically put the car down and then take it off with a 36 millimeter deep socket. I would also recommend like lubricating the bearing with the NICs just to make it easier for disassembly in the future if you ever have to take it off or anything like that again. But that's basically how to kind of take care of the wheel bearing for the 2004 Jeep Grand Cherokee Limited. And while you're there, I would also recommend taking care of the CV axle and replacing that also, because you're basically got everything all done and you can just do the CV axle also. It takes about a couple hours, and depending on whether or not it's like rusted for the wheel bearing, because sometimes it's rust welded, and you can use a slide hammer to help with that, some lubricating fluid, or the slide hammer or the chisel to kind of take it off. But this right here is the center cap. If you have to like drop it down to take the axle nut off, and you could, again, with the impact gun, you basically do the same thing. You take the center cap off and take it off there. It's a couple hours and you should be good with this, but it all depends on how rusted it is with the wheel bearing. Hopefully it helps. Take care.